You fool!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back.
Oh.
I do the intros around here, boy.
Sorry.
You're welcome. Welcome to another episode of the Six Man Tag Podcast, episode 54. We're calling this the last week tonight edition of this show because there's a lot of old shit that we got to cover, and we're going to get right into it. I'm Mike. Joining us, it's not CJ.
No.
Not today. Joining us, making his official debut since the casting couch episode is lost. We got a great picture out of all that, if nothing else. It's the man on the couch himself. It's Anthony Lascalzo.
The star of the casting couch, the world's largest midget. How you doing?
How you doing?
You know, had to took about 20 minutes to set this all up.
You don't say.
Thanks,
20?
thanks yeah. Thanks to my co-host for
That was
sticking through it and helping me out. Because I almost said, "Fuck it."
We'll
do it live.
Yeah, we are.
in the ring.
And joining us, as always, Craig's not here to do his fancier intro, but whatever. He's here. It's Skylar. No last name. It's just Skylar. He still hasn't gotten it back.
Dang.
Hi, I'm Skylar. You might remember me for such media pieces as the Six Man Tag Podcast, the Paperweight Broadcast, Mankind's Adventures Through the Seas and Through the Cage, and the Adventures of Val Venus Avoiding the Chop Chop.
Oh.
I appreciate the Simpsons reference there.
Yeah, I've switched it up a little bit.
Yeah, no, everybody gets it. Okay.
Sure.
As I mentioned, a last week tonight type of episode. If you're unfamiliar with the John Oliver show, he covers news that happened prior because that's how it goes.
I have to start with a major one.
Yes, please.
I really need to.
Kick it off.
This is a big deal. Like, I don't even know how to react to this. Ted DiBiase Jr. is being charged with 6 counts of wire fraud and 4 counts of money laundering.
So Brett Favre.
Yep.
It's actually part of that whole deal.
Oh, is it really?
Yes. This is in Mississippi, the whole defrauding thing.
Like, I mean,
why?
I don't know, man. Right. Like,
you're a DiBiase. Even if you're
dad
not
is
actually,
the $1 million man.
Even if you're not shoot rich, you're at least keep Fabe rich.
Yeah, right. Just borrow money from your dad. Like, I feel like all those jokes are already going around now.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I haven't thought about Ted DiBiase in a while. I just saw that today and just was like, huh. I'm an asshole.
All right, that's the podcast, everyone. We hope you
all
enjoy
right.
it.
Yeah.
He's Mike.
I haven't thought about Ted DiBiase since Legacy.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's probably the correct answer.
Remember when he was supposed to be the star?
Yeah, and everyone thought that Cody was going to be the mid-carder.
Man.
Damn.
Times changed. Almost didn't happen that way. All right.
On to actual relevant stuff.
Yeah, we'll speak. All right. Speaking of Cody, I mean, it's been a few weeks since Mania. I don't really want to do an entire recap, but I guess we can cover. We can sort of timeline ourselves sort of here, you know, at least go in like timeline order here. Let's start with the WrestleMania main event. So Roman beats Cody.
Wait. Do you want to start with the first main event?
I mean, we can. I was gonna jump ahead. So then, all right, let's quickly. I don't want to go over the whole night one, but the main event of night one, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat the Usos. I'll throw this out.
Possibly the best one. That is by far one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen.
I'll throw it to Anthony. Do you feel like it was the right main event? I know maybe some people could have argued that Rhea and Charlotte could have been the main event. I think it could have been the main event, but I'll throw it to you to say, was it the right main event? Was it the right call having the Usos lose? And just kind of start from there.
It was 100% the right main event and the right call. Because they've been doing this storyline for a year plus, and they were doing the Rhea and Charlotte for a month, 2 months.
If you
I don't
want to
get-
argue
It
it,
does
it's
have
a
back- it
3-year
does have
callback.
back-
Yeah, it's a 3, but like Charlotte already buried her the first WrestleMania they finished. So, and with this one, I don't give a shit about Charlotte. That match was good. It like everyone's like, oh, that should have been the main event. No, it was good. I think the Usos, Zayn and Owens, that tore the roof off the house. And I think if it went second and then I don't think you would have got. I think everyone would have been pissed if you switched the order. If Rhea and Charlotte went last, and then I think everyone would have been pissed. I know I would have been. But there was such a good storytelling that it was just perfect.
Skyler?
So I will agree that yes, it was the right call to make the tag team match the main event. That had the most heat. That was the one that everyone wanted to see. And hey, at least Sammy got a WrestleMania main event. So you got that. One of the best tag team one of the best straight up tag team matches I've ever seen. Because some of the best tag team matches I've ever seen have either involved like a ladder or a cage or something like that. But this was just a fucking fantastic match. Great way to cap off the night. That having been said, I will say Charlotte and Rhea definitely went out there with the chip on their shoulder to show that they should have been the main event as well. Now, again, I think they made the right call, but I also think Rhea and Charlotte, that honestly, that was one of the best women's matches I've ever seen.
I agree.
They beat the shit out of each other. Say what you will about Charlotte. I'm not even a Charlotte fan, but I know she will go out there and put the work in. And it was the right call to have Rhea because Rhea, I honestly, at this point, she has every reason to be the next top female. If she isn't already.
She absolutely should be.
I said in our group chat, we'll bounce around a bit, but I kind of said they could give Rhea the Tessa Blanchard run without the whatever her deal was, was she racist or being a bitch or whatever?
Racist.
Oh, was that?
And
okay.
a bitch.
Yeah. Well, both. You're right with that. But I feel that's what they're kind of giving the impression of, especially with her stare downs with Solo.
That was I fucking love that shit. And then just is everything okay?
Yeah,
here?
yeah. Hey, but
we good now. I was just like a fucking boss. Mic drop.
Right.
But
that aside, just to quickly shift into night 2. Now, Roman wins. Now, I've said many times on this podcast, Roman should be the champ for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
But I'll say this much. I don't think it was the wrong call because when you have a reign like this where you're gonna pass 1,000 days and you're gonna, I think when it's said and done, he's gonna end up being like the 5th longest reigning champ in history or something.
I want to say 4th.
It was something like that. I feel like when you have that title run going, you have to keep it going because you're never gonna have that again. And but at the same time, and we'll get into the Raw after Mania, but if you want to talk about Brock Lesnar attacking Cody Rhodes, the logic could have been there of, well, Roman's not the champ anymore, so now Brock can go for the title again. I'm going to attack the champ. And then if you wanted to set that up for whether, I don't know if they would have quickly done it at Backlash, they could have built it out a little bit, maybe
could have that shit to SummerSlam easy.
Even Money in the Bank, if you have your UK pay-per-view to get a main event out there for.
Yeah, that's in the UK.
But,
I forgot.
Yeah, but I feel like that could have been a logical thing to do had they done it. Instead, it's kind of like there's sort of no rhyme or reason except, man, I'm Brock, I'm angry. That would have been interesting if Cody was the champ. But I guess I'll throw it to Anthony. I mean, right, wrong. I mean, I thought the match was great. I know a lot of people put their opinion out there saying, well, the match was 5 stars, but the finish kind of made it. No, I'm like, I don't agree with that.
The match was 5 so I'm 50-50 on it, even after what has it been 2 weeks since Mania?
Something like
I'm still 50-50 on it. I think it would have been the perfect time because I don't think there's been a more over, like more like a top baby face than Cody,
Mhm.
and you could have just skyrocketed him with it. But at the same time, like you said, we haven't. The last time we saw a reign like this was Punk, and it was not
and this
even.
isn't even close to
Yeah,
Roman.
yeah, no. Punk's was not
Well,
even. Punk's was
that's because they didn't let him
like
main
the
event anything.
yeah, that's true. But like Punk was good, but Roman's been dominant,
Mhm.
Yes.
and so I'm cool with it being like reaching 1,000 days, 1,000+ days. You know, like if they did it at SummerSlam and Roman lost, yeah. But if Cody loses to Brock, it's like how does Cody even like? I think he loses all momentum, and it's like how do you even? So you lost to Roman, then you lost to Brock, but you then gonna beat Roman? Like I don't know. So I think Cody's got to beat Brock
Agreed.
to get back on that that climb.
I agree.
This is Cody Rhodes' hard times, baby.
Yo, Dusty. So it's Skylar, what do you think?
Okay. Some unpacking to do here.
Hmm. Please unpack.
While I do get the call, it was the right place and the right time and the right situation and the right momentum, and everything just felt in alignment for Cody that night. And I feel like if he is going to be the guy that dethrones Roman, it should have been that night.
Yeah,
Like if the plan is for him to be the next world champion,
it should have been Mania.
it should have been then. Because what if that's the plan, it happens at SummerSlam or well, okay, there's another factor. Or like he has to wait another WrestleMania, which is like, okay, I might be kind of pushing it. It's not gonna feel as
Yeah,
I feel like it won't be as significant. They gotta do a lot to get
if they wait until next year's WrestleMania to do it, it'll be like Cena versus Rock. Like, oh, the once in a lifetime. Actually, just kidding. It's twice in 2 years.
yeah,
I don't.
I don't
Like,
I
and then
don't.
everyone
I
will be
don't
like,
necessarily.
let me
I don't necessarily agree with that. Only because, like the Cena Rock stuff, that was built up as like, okay, the '90s star versus the 2000 star. This is a
then they
once in a
literally
lifetime,
booked it a year in advance.
right?
yeah,
I
like
don't
that
necessarily.
that one was fine. I'm cool with that
Now,
one.
No,
now
but I don't,
here's
but like I disagree with the. I think just if they do it again next year, I don't necessarily think it's in that same boat because I think they can get away with doing it again next year. Whatever happens in the next year, like if Roman's still champ, if not, I think Cody's made at this point. Like I always have, there's always these set of guys for me where like someone, I think Cody's in that spot where I always say Seth Rollins is, where Rollins doesn't need like a Royal Rumble win, or he doesn't need a money unless you want a storyline set it up that way.
Yeah,
He doesn't need Royal Rumble to like get a title shot. He doesn't need Money in the Bank to get his chance to get a title shot. You can
there's
put him in there and have him win it, but I think Cody was made in a sense of, and he's still over. And you can go back to the fall where everyone said, well, it should have been Drew McIntyre in Wales at
Clash
at
of
Clash of the
I
Castle.
was one of those people.
And then, oh well, it should have been Sammy in Montreal.
No.
When's this going to happen? It should have been. A lot of people said that. I'm not saying you.
I
I'm
know
saying a lot of people
you are
said
absolutely correct. But I was
And
definitely on
then-
board with Drew at the time, but
Right.
Sammy, I was just like, nah.
I said on here, I said I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna get sucked into
it's
Sammy
fantastic.
winning and I'm
It was
gonna
a
get my heart
fantastic
ripped out.
match.
And that's exactly what they did.
Yes.
And then Cody at Mania, and now everyone's kind of saying, but it's more so after it happens, everybody says the same thing of, well, who's next? It's now 3 times where it's happened where everyone that said, no, this is the time for Roman to lose, and then well, who's going to be hotter? And then the next time they find someone hot again to build it all up again. And I don't think, and none of their momentums have been derailed. You want to talk about Drew's contract situation, maybe being in limbo as a thing? That's got nothing to do with this. Drew's one of those made guys. He can get hot at any time. Sami Zayn,
The problem
everybody
is,
thought
is he going to get hot again as Drew McIntyre? Or is he going to get hot again as Drew Galloway?
Well, he might be Drew Galloway over in Jacksonville. You never
Oh.
know.
Japan.
Well, that too. Go back to ICW or whatever. he was
Another
doing before.
I think he
another
wants to
potential
do
free
New
agent
Japan.
for.
It's true. But then you had that, and then Sammy stayed hot. Everyone thought that Mania build was going to absolutely derail and the fans were going to take over, and they didn't. Like,
I'll give him credit for being able to keep
you know,
that going.
like everyone was like, well, who cares about Zayn with tag title? And it's like, look how they did it, and it's fine, and it's still fine these 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Where they go, I mean, I know they're doing the riddles, whatever, we'll get to it, but Cody's fine. Cody's going to go, hey, he's going to headline against Brock. He's going to be over his shit. I don't know what the result's going to be. It's going to be fine. They're going to, they'll get Cody built up again. Everybody's going to walk into Mania again, the loudest whoa you can think of. The moment will be there.
I do have one fear of what could potentially happen. Do you know what happens on day 1000 of his reign?
I do not. Is there?
No, please tell us.
Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia.
Huh.
I can see them doing it there.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I
I'm with you.
I don't think so.
Dude, if the Saudis are like, you know,
To
No,
Mansoor?
they don't. What are they?
here's a couple million. Let's.
I don't think they're gonna listen to that shit anymore.
Yeah, probably. I mean, hey, Bray Wyatt won the title at a Saudi show.
No, he lost.
That's not.
Saudi
He
show.
lost at the Saudi show.
No, the first time he ever won it, he beat Seth Rollins after that god awful Hell in a Cell.
Oh, was it the red?
Yes.
Yeah, the red. Oh yeah.
Listen, they're not ending this title reign anywhere except SummerSlam or WrestleMania. It's not happening.
That's the thing, and but my issue with SummerSlam is if that's what they did with Roman. Everyone thought that he was going to dethrone Brock at WrestleMania. He didn't twice, and then he finally got the title at SummerSlam.
He technically didn't. He technically lost his title match at the 2020 SummerSlam. He didn't. He won the title at Payback, which was like a week later.
No, he wasn't in that match.
Or whatever the fuck it was.
He returned. He returned at that match.
Oh yeah, and then
was that against Strowman and Wyatt?
Yes.
Yeah, Wyatt beat Strowman for the title, and then Roman came back and kicked their ass. And then a week later was another pay-per-view.
Listen, the Thunderdome stuff was a weird time.
Boy, was it ever! But that's
I
where
don't
Roman's
remember
reign
the
began.
Thunderdome stuff.
They don't want you to. Not they don't want you to, but how many clips do you see with the Thunderdome setting? You don't.
I mean,
they literally every time they had to bring up I'll go back to Charlotte and Real. Every time they would bring up you beat me 3 years ago. Not one still image of the match from the pandemic empty arena Mania.
Was Rhea and Charlotte at empty arena?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember from that is
because that was when
Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. And for some reason, Seth Rollins and
because Kevin Owens dove off the fucking, and then
was that supposed to be Goldberg versus Reigns, and then they changed it to
Goldberg
versus McIntyre.
Because Reigns was gone when the pandemic started.
Yeah,
because he was not that far removed from coming back out of remission.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm remembering some.
There's
stuff.
a little, and it wasn't the show. Listen. Not that they had much control over, but the shows weren't good anyway.
But it's just
they had a few cool things. I remember the Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton stuff. They tried to do some cool like effects shit. They tried their best.
That stuff was weird.
Yeah. And I've mentioned it a lot, how a lot of guys got better at talking, knowing where the camera is, knowing how loud to talk and stuff. Guys are still good at that now. That comes from the Thunderdome, I think, a lot too.
Yeah. And also, that's where Roman's title reign began.
Exactly. Roman essentially got like a free year because he was champ for a year before they even went back in front of live crowds. Mm-hmm. And then he just can't. It's shit that happens. That's why this title reign's never going to happen again. Let it go on as long as it can go. It'll be fine.
Do you think SummerSlam is an appropriate time?
I mean, we'll see. I think
SummerSlam
I think
again?
Detroit. I don't think it matters where it is.
It's in Detroit.
It's at Ford Field, so they're gonna sell 60,000
Is it?
tickets.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see.
Okay.
So if it's
It's just funny
if
that
it's not Cody, let's say it's not Cody.
hmm
I had no fucking clue at
Who
that
is
point.
it? Yeah, Ford Field. You are correct, sir.
Well, because I mean, not that
It
I'm
could have
gonna
been
go,
Drew-
not that I'm gonna go, but I'm always curious as to like what tickets cost, how many are selling. I always check that shit.
Who do I kind of want because I
Yeah.
think they deserve it? Kind of want to say Drew.
Mm.
You
I think
that-
he deserves a reign in front of a live crowd.
Yeah, he'll get it. Hopefully, he gets his reign. But do you think
I'm
they
curious.
go
I'm
back to like Jay?
Well, I said that when
Yeah,
Rowan beat
maybe.
him because they were clear. Let's move on. Let's move on to the night after WrestleMania because we can talk about this, but I do want to get a lot of shit in on this episode, on our last week tonight episode, not starring John Oliver. In case you can't tell, there's no Englishman here ranting about news.
Good day, mate.
If this is Bill Nye's gritty reboot, I'm all here for it.
Why is that why it's called a European uppercut? Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. Oh my god.
And we are canceled.
So
Anyway, continue.
So okay, so let's it all this all bleeds together. So the day after WrestleMania, it was announced WWE and UFC are going to merge. Endeavor is purchasing. I forget the purchase price at this point. Was it like something like between 9 and 10 billion?
Billions.
I thought it was 8 billion.
Billions.
We then got the shit show that was the night after Raw WrestleMania.
Worst Markamania
Oh
ever.
my god.
And
The first hour was hot, and then that was it.
Yeah, because you had and then it was just a bunch of, and it's funny to me how Vince McMahon wants to, and clearly it's almost like he came in to try like impress his buddies, like, hey, watch this. And then it seemed, I think it seemed obvious because clearly, like, you haven't had a show like that since, whether it was SmackDown or even the following Raws, that have been just that ridiculous.
Someone,
Where it's just constant
rumor-
rewrite after rewrite.
But
after
it's
rewrite.
rumor
it's-
is that the people from Endeavor Endeavor were there and watched his process and like they were not impressed.
No,
Yeah.
because and I made a point to say that if you go watch any of like whether it's like Downfall of WCW or Monday Night Wars documentary, a big thing that a lot of the wrestlers say is we're at Nitro and we're about to go on the air and nobody knows what's happening and they're like still writing the show and this and that. And it's like that's such a big part of like that company's downfall. So it's like shocking to see it happen under Vince McMahon, first of all.
Yeah. You had Seth Rollins go, oh, I'm gonna go out to the ring and listen to my to deliver a promo.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then in the commercial, they you just see a video like on Twitter. They're like, "Oh yeah, no, you're not doing it. So go to the back."
Yeah.
And then
Supposedly
you
that was
back to commercial. You just see him walk to the back. It's like
supposedly
hey,
that was pretty deadly getting called up. Supposedly, which if you know that gimmick in NXT, it would have fit with Seth Rollins, kind of.
Who?
Pretty deadly from NXT.
Oh yeah, the tag team. Yeah.
Like the flamboyance and stuff of those guys would have fit with the stuff Seth Rollins does, so it kind of makes sense. And I'm sure they could still do that because again, we'll get to it with what's coming up next month. Or I guess like in
a draft.
No.
What?
Well, we all thought it was going to be Braun Breaker because he lost the title at the NXT show over Mania
I
week.
did. Instead, he's going on a heel rampage.
Yeah, he is. I don't know what's happening.
I
don't know.
Why not?
I mean, I don't watch it every week, but I guess like he gets like booze on NXT anyway.
I did not know that. I mean, the thing is, Carmelo Hayes was probably the best wrestler in NXT.
Oh yeah, no, I think so.
Like as far as the package, his in-ring ability, his promo ability.
Yeah,
he's got a good manager, sort of. Like he's a complete package. I think Carmelo Hayes is going to be like a star, like on the main roster eventually.
No, I think so too. Time's coming, but
they were thinking about putting the Hurt Business 3.0 back together.
They keep on doing that.
Then have Mello be like, it was going to be him, the Street Profits, and then
that makes sense. Plus, he has that.
And then somebody,
Trick,
I think it was
Trick
supposed
Williams.
to be somebody else. No, I didn't see him. I thought it was.
Well, they're still. I mean, I only came across this because like I don't normally watch like Main Event, the show that they taped before, but like they've been having like they're not obviously not official call ups, but they've been having like some NXT guys on that.
Yeah.
I only noticed because one that
Ziggler just faced Tyler Bate.
I
And it was
I
actually
supposed to be.
heard Tyler Bates a potential call up.
yeah. Well, all right, let's get into like the merger because clearly the Raw sucked. It was clearly Vince McMahon trying to be like, "Hey guys, watch this.
Look what I can do."
Look, goddamn, look what I can do."
And then them looking at him at 11 o'clock saying, "This ain't it, fam."
Yeah. Is it
I feel
too
like there's
recede?
how many Simpsons references to pull them out of there can you make? Like, there's too many.
God. Like we got one return, Riddle, which was against the Miz,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which was
yeah.
very quite
Well,
the
listen, I don't
misdirection
know.
because look where he ended up by Friday.
Listen, all I gotta say is good luck to whoever wrestles with Miz after they gotta follow that Snoop Dogg match.
Oh.
Props
don't you mean
to
that?
Snoop
Don't you mean that
Dogg.
Shane McMahon match?
Oh, sorry.
Props to Snoop Dogg, by the way, for that.
Yo,
And
you gotta
Miz.
love Snoop.
And Miz.
Well, because like I feel like they said it, he improvised better than like a lot of actual wrestlers would.
So
the fact
big
that
ups to him.
and the fact that he could be high as shit and be like, "Oh, what do I? All right, let's do this."
Yeah, I'll punch this in the face.
Yeah, right.
Do a
So,
people's
good on them.
elbow and
The worst people's elbow ever.
Yeah, that's the point.
dude. Again, he's really high.
Yeah, I'm a little high.
We're just happy
Was
that-
Riddle backstage?
I
Was
mean,
Randy Orton backstage?
I was gonna say
Orton
that's
is nowhere near being cleared to even come back.
I'm starting to think he could be done.
yeah. We've been doing it 20 plus years at this point,
Yeah.
so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
I love the RKO. He said he was just like, yeah, if I could pick another finisher, I definitely would because that fucked my back up.
What,
Wow,
the RKO?
Yeah, the RKO.
I wonder if DDP had back Well, maybe that's how we got.
I don't think he
DDP.
is. I don't think he has any problems. I should really be doing that
Yeah.
yoga every day, and I
Yeah,
don't.
exactly. But I wonder if maybe he started it because the diamond cutter, is probably killing.
He probably did. He did because he had his own injuries. Like if you want to go research like that whole story, he literally why he did yoga because he's like ow my legs back whatever.
It's
and
funny
now
too because
he's like almost 70 and he looks fantastic. So
yeah, but like the RKO / diamond cutter / Ace Crusher
Yeah.
is like my favorite finisher too.
It's so easy. It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
What a fucking loser I am.
How did you not expect that? Oh man.
I don't know. I mean,
Whatever, man.
just if he's done, then just let Riddle do it or something. Or
Mhm.
I'm sure somebody else can.
I would love to see a Orton heel run with him turning on Riddle, but
You almost got it.
we almost
That
did.
one. I mean,
I think
know.
it would
We'll
have
see.
happened if they didn't get so hot.
I
Yeah,
think so.
'Cause they were getting
They
pretty
were-
popular. I
Yeah.
enjoyed them. They were one. They were,
they
one
were
of my
like
favorite
Hansel.
parts.
They were so hot right now.
Yeah.
Like facts. So what? So is there anything in this merger? To get back to it, is there anything that concerns you right off the bat? I mean, I'll go to Anthony. Like, I mean, I know it's still going to be months before anything is even officially finalized. Probably closer to the end of the year. I'll say I don't want to say from a finance standpoint that really has nothing to do with us, but from a wrestling standpoint, what do you is this? Do you see it being good? Do you see it? Maybe we get like UFC crossovers. Maybe like Conor McGregor is gonna like get a run, like or any of those old like. I mean, it opens up the door for an easier crossover.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be like when AEW did it with Mazadov and Paige Van Zandt.
Oh, that's true.
Which she signed a contract and then just
has-
never
Yeah,
showed up again.
so
I guess she realized how much she was making off of OnlyFans.
What?
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 Which she had a free weekend. I could see how she's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Again, the DMs are open for research.
For science.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, Skylar, you take it because I don't know. Like
Like I have my one concern. I want to see if your guys' possible concerns
So
match mine.
my one concern is I will believe Vince is not touching creative when he is 6 feet buried in the ground. At this point, that is the only time I'll believe that.
I don't think. I'll say. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say basically one of my biggest things is the fact that Vince is always lurking still, even though now he's technically an employee now.
Yeah.
And I guess he has some clauses in his contract as far as conduct goes.
I don't think you're going to see another like fucked Raw like going forward.
No,
like,
I think they learned their lesson.
I think you will. I think you absolutely will.
Well, so from what I heard, and I was talking to Mike before we came on the air and before you finally got set up,
Yeah, I apologize.
3 hours later. 3 hours later.
I apologize, you son of a bitch.
I think this podcast deserves an apology.
Great. I lost my train of thought. Shit. Fuck, what was I talking about?
Clusterfuck of Raw.
Clusterfuck of Raw. Yeah. Okay. So I was talking to Mike about this before we came on the air. Supposedly, the draft is meant for Triple H to have a like totally clean slate to work with,
which is fair.
Which is kind of it gives me a little optimism.
I truly like people. I also even before the merger. Like when Brock Lesnar versus Omos got booked, people were like, "Well, that's Vince McMahon." People aren't willing to admit yet that maybe not everything Triple H touched. Like you can't bat 1,000.
Yeah,
like you're gonna have some misses, and people.
Well,
it's a massive win for Hunter because everyone right now is everything that's shit is they're gonna blame Vince McMahon. Everything that's awesome, they're gonna go, "Oh, there's Triple H." So Triple H gonna get no blame for a while. So this is all a massive dub for him.
Well, the thing you got to remember with that particular situation is Brock has to sign off on what he does, and he signed off on doing that match.
No, and I agree. And it's not for what
weird match.
I'll just listen. I'll say, and I said it on here.
They just want the visual of him F5ing almost.
And I said it on here. Could Brock have done something else? Sure. I said, what if you put him into that Intercontinental title match? Holy shit, that would have been something.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Holy crap!
That
match was 5 stars as it was.
Exactly. If you just put Brock against Gunther or whatever else you could have done, sure.
That would have been the sequel to that SummerSlam match with was it? Brock, Roman, Samoa Joe, and
exactly
Strowman. Which, man, I had to remind myself that Samoa Joe was not only in WWE but briefly a main eventer.
Yeah. I think for what it was fine. Like, sure, was it a main event? No, but for we got the visual.
It was an opening.
Sure, it probably shouldn't have opened night 2 of Mania, but whatever.
No,
it is.
No, I bet I wouldn't be shocked if Brock wanted that because Brock seems to want to get out.
And then he can get out, right?
With the night after being an exception, which we'll get to.
Right, we'll get. But
so we have kind of
right. Well, right, and in terms of the merger, I think my only concern comes from the business side would be the pay-per-view model. Yes. I know they're clearly just putting out feelers at this point. You can't, they obviously mentioned the UFC model, which you have ESPN Plus and you have to buy the UFC pay-per-views. We
gonna have to start gathering to watch the pay-per-views and wait until midnight for the main event, and then there's going to be 3 filler matches afterwards anyway?
Like the legit UFC model, the pay-per-view start at 10. No, I don't think any of that happens. I honestly, they've spoiled wrestling fans. Like I think at best the only pay-per-views that will be extra will be the major 4. And but I don't know. Like they're not just going to go and charge you $80 for WrestleMania. I don't think they're going to do that again.
2 questions. 1, how long is the Peacock deal for?
I believe it's until 2026.
So
I think there was a 5-year deal.
So they can't really do much until then, right?
They could supposedly.
Can they buy it out?
I was thinking they
Well,
could
yeah,
supposedly
that's
toss
a
money at
possibility.
Peacock and buy it out, but Peacock would
Mhm.
also have to sign off on that.
Yeah.
Because if they're talking about, you're clearly talking about selling the network packages too, which for me, if that's off Peacock, I'm probably, well, maybe I would sell Peacock because there is other sports stuff on there that I watch. But a lot of people,
I would have Peacock basically from September until January.
oh, football. I didn't even think of Sunday Night Football. So maybe there's some reasons why people would keep Peacock, but your wrestling fans, they're gone. And I do believe that's a lot of Peacock's audience at this point is wrestling fans have it.
I would drop it. I'm already trying to get rid of some things. I canceled my Paramount Plus. I'm not signing up for. I'm waiting for the South Park specials to drop before I bring it back.
Right. But I'm curious what they do with that. If as far as them moving like the library around, I kind of don't care what they do. If they want to go to ESPN Plus, fine. I have that anyway.
Second question.
Mm-hmm.
One, do they either go to A, ESPN Plus, or B, Fight?
Fight would be interesting. I don't know if they'd work with Fight. I feel like there's too much wrestling on there. Maybe I don't even know if that's something they explore.
I mean, is that where is Fight's where it is AEW is outside of here, right?
Yes, you definitely can't access it in the US at all.
No.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You cannot have
We have not tried
VPN and access anyway.
Whatever. They fucking know
the
people
gig.
do it. It's not like I'm the only one doing that shit. Everyone does it.
Although supposedly
all I'm gonna say, if you're buying these shows on Bleacher Report, you're kind of fucking stupid. But I mean,
Bleacher Report sucks.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I just remember watching.
I don't. Even if they go, like I said, you're not gonna be like, all right, well, Backlash coming up, that'll be $80 because nobody's gonna buy that shit.
Yeah.
So, like I said, and at best, and if WrestleMania comes around, it would have to be like the old school days of let's find a bar or let's all go to one person's house and then split that cost, split the cost and do that.
All right, we're all going to your house, Mike.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, Rocco's already a wrestling fan, bashing other kids over that with a book.
That did happen last year.
Oh god, that's awesome.
Not even the closed book, Skylar. He opened it and then the corner of the book.
It was rough.
Yeah. Wow, your son is brutal.
Yeah, he's one step away from just coming off the couch like it's the top rope. So
is he gonna swanton bomb or
crown
us king?
At this point, it's just gonna be a body splash.
It's gonna be a money shot.
God damn it. Forgot about that finishing move until now. But that's my only concern from the business side is the eventual we move away from being spoiled and all the pay-per-views are included with your $10 a month subscription. That's
at least keep this Saturday thing. That was one of the best moves they made.
I like the Saturday pay-per-views.
I like the Saturday pay-per-views.
I love the Saturday pay-per-views.
I think
it just makes more sense.
I agree. I think because maybe they get away from it a little bit in the fall. I don't even know if they did though, only based on like college football and stuff going up against that. But then you're still going up against like Sunday Night Football anyway. I know it doesn't make a difference.
A few of those pay-per-views started earlier. But
I
know they were overseas.
Well,
I gotta say, watching Cardiff, being done by like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Well, that's what Money in the Bank. Awesome. Money in the Bank's going to start at like 4 p.m. or 3 p.m. or something.
And I fucking love it.
I'm excited for that in July. But yeah, that's my main business concern. I know, if you're an employee, you're probably going to freak out because that's how corporations roll, and it's shitty.
If you're a wrestler, you're tiptoeing on eggshells.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, if they are going to cut costs. Because we made record profits. Sorry, you don't have jobs anymore. Welcome to America.
Unfortunately, I see that coming, and Tony Khan can't resist fucking signing everyone.
We'll get into that in this set.
Yeah, no, that's
something is Vince going to cut the same people he cut last year?
It's possible. Is it Vince's call?
I know. This is the other thing from that. So Vince has a boss for the first time in his life since his own father, I guess.
Yep.
And he's gonna have 18%.
Dude, his coworker is fucking Dana White.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
That shit.
That could be interesting.
Yeah,
will be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as the business, like I said, he has a boss. The corporate people are going to corporate, they're just going to look at spreadsheets and shit. They're not actually going to look at, certain things more than likely. But I don't know. Overall, I think I'm confident that Triple H has the reins. I at this point, I think they're going to treat Vince honestly, like Mr. Burns, and just
Excellent.
like, I really have no other, I don't know. Or the only other option I have for Vince McMahon is you have to Truman show him. And you have to just you have to fully convince him that he has full creative, and you just have to set everything up to be, you literally need an entire staff of just fake people.
How the hell do we make this happen?
I would, and it can be live streamed too. This is a money making deal.
Exactly.
And then you just watch Vince McMahon do these fake creative meetings, and then
this
yeah,
is
sure,
such good shit.
Right, sure, go out there. You got full reign, guy, and then he can create himself, till he's content, but none of it's gonna matter. And but they
He's
keep
going to
him
experiment
occupied
with mustaches so much.
Right, but it keeps him occupied. He thinks he's running the show, and then in reality, it's Triple H, doing everything. So I feel like those are your two options.
I want this to happen.
So
I never knew I wanted this to happen. Well, I need this to happen.
Yes.
Just Vince McMahon in the Truman Show, but it's for good this time.
Yes.
It's for a good reason.
I'm trying to think of anything else as far as the merger goes.
And this is why I didn't I'm happy. I mean, obviously I wish we would have recorded something, but timing just didn't work. But I feel like it was everybody jumping the gun after the one shitty Raw without letting anything, everyone hopped on Monday at 11:01 to be we're fucked. This is this is
well,
shit.
now
this
you
is...
were fucked.
I felt demoralized. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I did too, but it's one of those where you some things there isn't going to be another Raw for a week. There's a SmackDown in 4 to 8. Wait and see, I guess, is always my approach.
I just find it funny that I started watching it. Obviously, I caught the opening. I watched some of it, realized this episode's kind of shit. Turned it off for a while. I turn it back on, and there's Brock Lesnar standing over Cody Rhodes outside the ring. It's oh, tell me he beat the shit out of him. And oh, God.
Yep, he did.
Oh, yeah.
And then he continued to do it. And then he came out and did the double birds, which is really okay. Sure.
Yeah. But listen, I think it remains to be seen. Let's finish up the WWE talk with the draft coming up. I think it's next week. I think it's Friday, whatever the Friday is. I think it's Friday the 28th. What's tomorrow? I'm fucked with these dates. Maybe Friday the 28th.
So yeah,
I'm checking.
It's the 28th.
So it's the 28th, and then the following Raw.
Yeah.
So, as you mentioned, Triple H's blank canvas. I like it. Like you said, I'm curious as to who goes where. Clearly, and the networks are going to have a bit of a say. I know, I bet you SmackDown. SmackDown will have not bigger stars, but Fox is going to have a say in that.
So who?
You think Fox keeps Roman?
Yes.
Yeah. So who's one wrestler that you think needs to go, to SmackDown and to Raw?
I don't know if it necessarily matters anymore. I just think I feel like if you're going clean slate, I just think who are wrestlers that aren't I think for what it's worth, I think the whole bloodline is on SmackDown at this point, because I think if this is gonna be the true brand split and we're not just gonna jump around anymore, then the bloodline has to be on SmackDown. Are they gonna split the tag titles? Is your first question.
What about the world titles?
That I'm not there yet.
Right.
It's the tag titles.
Yeah, I think they were working towards that.
So then,
before Mania, they were hinting at it. I think that there was a tag tournament, and they said specifically it was for the SmackDown titles.
Is Backlash going to be
didn't Damian Priest and Finn Balor challenge the Usos for the Raw titles, just the Raw titles?
I don't remember.
It was on a Raw.
I don't know, by the way, because they keep going up, and I can't keep track of.
Oh, by the way, I know we're not at Survivor Series, but just to quickly mention this Bloodline Judgment Day, LWO Sammy's like if War Games was coming up, that would be an interesting
I'm
combo.
with you.
And
Just to throw that
keep
out
on
there.
forgetting
the
LW
perfect man is back in WWE to announce it.
He can't appear on TV yet.
On still.
Oh yeah, that's right, William.
I think
Regal.
it's like he can't appear on TV until like 2024.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
It was some deal like that, or maybe
They
it
can-
could have been a
they threw
year
it-
from when he left. But even then, I think he left in like December. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think the agreement is like, yeah, you can leave and go
Yeah.
back, but
But just to throw that out there, it would be that was like my first thought when everybody was running in. I was like, this would be a good War Games match, these combos.
yeah, I keep on forgetting LWO is a thing again. And
Well, because it wasn't
Where
the
the
night
hell's
after
Zelina Vega?
WrestleMania.
He's there.
Yeah.
I feel like
heard
she hasn't
was-
been there the past couple of
I heard she was going to challenge Rhea for the title, which I'll watch that match.
in
sure.
yeah, because it's in Puerto Rico.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, duh.
Yeah, and Bad Bunny it's probably going to be Bad Bunny and Rey Mysterio versus.
I'm very mad we're
Dom
not
and
getting.
Damon.
I'm very mad we're not getting our proposed Bad Bunny versus Logan Paul match.
Oh, that was a thing.
We proposed it
Oh,
on,
we
Could be a
on-
thing.
Yeah.
on this podcast.
It
Honestly,
should be a
I
thing.
think that would tear the house down.
Exactly.
Probably both of them are way
Dude,
more talented than
Logan Paul, dude,
has it.
dude, yeah, I don't know. He's just got it, man.
And he did
he's
sign
He's
an
a
extension.
douchebag
Good.
person. He's a
He did.
douchebag person, but man, he fucking has
He
it.
can work.
Yeah.
And Bad Bunny really is pretty good.
Yeah,
Well, they said he trained his ass off.
Yeah.
Whatever, 2 years, whenever it was, 2 years ago.
It's funny when my prior job, when I was starting to work there, my manager was mentioning something about Bad Bunny. It's just like, I don't know if you listen to Bad Bunny. I don't know what your music is. I was like, well, I just watched him, do
I was
a
gonna say,
Canadian I just saw him doing Canadian Destroyer the other night, so I'm aware of who he is.
yeah.
Um,
The Miz, because Bad Bunny was like, "Yo, I want to throw a Canadian Destroyer," and the Miz is like, "I'm not having that move done to me by you." And John Morrison's like, "I'll do it,"
yeah,
and
exactly.
it was perfect.
John Morrison
John-
gives no fucks.
John
Now he's
Morrison-
John
which
Morrison,
now
John
he's
Morrison's
Johnny
boxing.
Yeah,
he's Johnny Boxing now.
Who did he
Johnny
just?
Boxing.
He just beat some fucking
RSI.
And he called out K. No, he called out KSI.
I can't listen. I'm almost at that point where I'm like, who are these people
Yes.
Yeah.
in my life? So
I didn't know who Bad Bunny was. And
I
everyone
only,
was
know,
telling me
I
he-
only know of Bad Bunny because of Tom.
I did not
That's
know
true.
Bad Bunny
Yeah.
until
Dude,
he showed
Tom
up.
Tom knows everyone. I was watching like I forget what I was watching. I was watching like some basketball game, and I just saw these two. They were just these two dudes.
Yeah, I remember this.
They were just these two dudes sitting courtside, and I'm like, Tom, what rapper is this? He's like, bro, I don't know. That might just be a guy.
Yo,
Because
why
like,
are they always rappers, Mike?
because without fail, I can literally like send him like, who is this? He's like, oh, that's a little and then they just
Little
make up a
toenail?
word. Yeah, they just make up
Yeah.
a word after it.
Lil Hangnail.
Lil Hangnail.
Yeah.
Well, we did see the best Lil of all time, Lil Uzi Vert, perform at Mania.
Yikes.
Oh yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, no idea what he was saying, but it was a great time.
Yeah.
He introed the Usos, and that was it.
That's a fact.
And he did it poorly, but whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hmm
do we want to move on to what's going on the other side of Florida?
Yeah, let's do it. I think we kind of covered everything that's going on with WWE to the best that we could. That mattered.
I'm sure there will be more, but that's,
We'll recap
next
the
week.
draft. We'll recap the draft after it happens in a couple of weeks, and then we'll get the lay of the land.
Yeah.
But
Tony
maybe
Khan-
next week. Maybe next week we can do a little bit of more of like an in-depth draft preview.
Yes.
That kind of sounds like a
I'm
good
in.
idea. Oh, 2 weeks in a row.
2 weeks in a row.
Now that you know how all this technology works.
Yeah.
Let's stop right there.
Let's
I'll probably do the
let's-
same thing I did today next week. Mike,
God damn it.
FaceTime me.
Big facts.
So one, he's
AE
still signing
dub.
he's still signing way too many people.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think I made it known I'm a fan of Jay White. I don't think I wanted Jay White to go to AEW.
No, because he's gonna get lost.
Like everyone. Like all the
Well,
new
here's
free
all right.
signings.
Here's
But
my
then
thing.
again, would he have worked in WWE?
No.
With Triple H,
Well-
yeah, maybe.
Because apparently they were like this close.
Listen, here's what I'll say. Like, I feel like one of my first thoughts was, and I know with the merger, Triple H is getting paid a good chunk of change as like a transaction fee or something
Yep.
something like 5 million.
It's 5.
Golly.
Him and someone else.
I know, I can't remember who.
Yeah.
But it part of it in my mind was like, forget all the money, if Vince McMahon was coming back and just trying to force his way back in, is there a world where Triple H would be like, bro, you can fucking have it, I'm out? If Triple H could book AEW, I mean, this is like, it's like, I don't want, like, listen, for the first year, I mean, I know it's an impossibility, but it's one of those it was one of those thoughts that,
is it?
Probably he's there too long, because even you just
he probably retire first.
I agree, but it's one of those where, man, if he did, they need someone. AEW needs somebody. I don't know who. I don't know if there's somebody at like WWE that could jump over as far as booking.
Bruce Pritchard.
They should throw money at like Brian Gewirtz or something. Like, I feel like he was responsible for a good chunk of stuff in the early 2000s, and I know he's doing like TV and stuff, so I doubt he would do it.
What happened to Dave Laguna?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he was behind some pretty decent stuff, and then he just fucking disappeared.
Yeah, no, he did. But
Bruce Pritchard basically podcasted his way back into a job.
He did, and well, honestly, I've been happy the last few months with that podcast because he's actually been available to do it more often.
I actually have not listened in years, but you saying that just now makes me want to maybe.
No, he doesn't do it every week, but like for a while when he went back, there was like just months straight where there was no new episode. So I think it definitely turned a lot of people off. But like when they do them, and he's doing video now.
Yeah, Conrad kept himself busy.
Well, he's got 85 fucking.
Exactly. He's got an empire going.
But that one is still.
Oh, you're a wrestler? Well, let's get you on here, okay?
It's like the running joke of every time someone is fired from something, they're like, "Oh, all right, well, you'll just have a podcast in 2 weeks."
I mean, what's it? Dax Harwood canceled the FTR podcast. I'm sure now we'll have FTR
because he said he was doing more damage than good. Because
he was getting like threats and like ridicule, and people were ridiculing his daughter.
Yeah, that's just people being fucked.
And everyone thought, he was just using it as a platform to get Punk back in. It's just like, no, dude was just speaking his mind.
But beside the point.
By the way, should we address that?
Go on.
Oh, Punk.
CM Punk basically confirmed to come back.
Yeah, let's start there. So I'm hearing like what feels like 50 different things about AEW. How Punk is coming back. His first feud is supposedly with Jericho. And also, so I want to focus on this rumored shit of a potential brand split where
AEW Collision or something.
Where the apparent purpose of it is, well, there's going to be one show with CM Punk and then the people that like CM Punk, and then the other show is the people that don't want to work with them. Do you think that's valid? I feel like it's not at all.
It's just fucking childish if that's the case.
Exactly.
It's fucking terrible.
Exactly. I feel like that's
the money is in Punk feuding with the Elite.
Right.
I
don't know, man. Like,
shit.
So am I. But I think everyone is at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think people, and I say that people, I mentioned people aren't ready to say that people don't want to attack or like, shit on any Triple H booking decisions. This is what people did the first year or two of AEW. I think the first crack was that barbed wire match with that terrible explosion.
Oh yeah.
I think that was finally the first instance of people going like, you guys fucked that up and ruined. Like the match was fine, but then like the aftermath of that, and then people making the jokes about like, oh, you should have just gotten Cody's pyro to be the explosion.
Yes.
But I think that was the first instance of like the crack of people criticizing AEW, because I think prior to that, you had obviously the first few months and then the pandemic, and they were doing really well through it. just because of how bad the Thunderdome stuff was. Just them having the wrestlers at ringside for any kind of noise was
I was about
better.
to say they just had to show up and they were doing better by default.
No, they did exactly because they followed all the whatever rules were in place and they did it right.
And Mike enjoyed it because you got to see the other wrestlers in the crowd like taking bets on the matches.
No, yeah, that was pretty funny. Like, because
That
like,
was
and
pretty
they knew
funny.
what they did, and then like, like obviously guys did it, and then even after a while, you're like, all right, let people in, let's be done. Like, we gotta be done with this. But they did their thing, and I think it took to that. That was the first. Ooh, you guys fucked this up, and it's felt like this avalanche of just criticism since, but rightfully so. Everything we say of they signed too
Tony
many
Khan needs a booker.
people.
Are we all in agreement that the AEW COVID years were better than WWE?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
That's not a question.
Yeah, but AEW doesn't need another show that the same 10 to 12 wrestlers are going to be on.
I know, because
They don't need
Rampage
more
is
people.
terrible. Rampage,
That's true.
Like Rampage is terrible in the sense of, besides the first Rampage that CM Punk showed up on, has there been there been a Rampage that wasn't just a throwaway?
I thought you were gonna say good Rampage. Hook's debut was a good.
True.
Was a good Rampage.
I'll say it one quick time.
Joining
Blackpool
Combat Club.
Yeah. But like, I think I can count on one hand the times I've actually like sat down. I honestly don't think I've ever watched it live.
It doesn't help that it's taped and spoilers are up like by the following morning.
Yeah. True. And they're too hell bent on the way they tape their TV too, of having Rampage taped after. I know it's fucking frustrating because like the one show ends.
It's exhausting.
And then it is, and then they tape Rampage, and then like the main event sucks, and then that like all right, that's it. I don't know. It's just something about
I think they should tape it before.
Right, they should, but they focus too much on like announcing shit for Rampage on Wednesday Dynamite. It's like if nobody's watching anyway, who cares?
Yeah, but you go off a high like a main event, like the main event of AEW, you go off a high. And then you go right into like the opening of Rampage, like,
and it's like you're up, but then you have to come down. Like there's a whole crowd thing that they're not good with.
You want to get back up, like you might not.
And the other thing is that now they're also taping like 4 to 6 episodes of Ring of Honor in a row now.
Yeah, well, no, they do that at like Universal or some shit. That's not before TV. No, but they have like the Dark show before, so it's like you're watching just like 5 straight hours or 4 straight hours, and you're just dead by the end of Rampage. So
it's like every Wednesday is WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's like they have to change their formatting. I think Saturday night's a terrible night. Like,
yes,
because like it's one thing if there's a pay-per-view on a Saturday night, that's once a month at best. But if you're every Saturday night, and I listen, I know you want to go through the history of wrestling on, the Turner at Saturdays at 6:05. Great. That's not the audience you have today.
Nope.
You can, what am I going up against? I'm going up against college football. I'm going up against, basketball, hockey, especially now the playoffs. So you're going up against, I just have shit to do on Saturday night. Like, you're not getting people
to want to win a game.
Yeah, like you're not getting people to. I don't know how you're going to get people to watch that, but listen, they're going to do it, and you're not going to stop them. So, I guess.
I think it's all.
But a proposed brand split's not the worst, just because of that bloated roster. But I'm still not confident that they book it well.
Nope.
No.
And you're going to split you're going to split it up. What? So okay, what you're going to put CM Punk on the Saturday show, you're going to put Kenny Omega on the Wednesday show. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I guess
supposedly they'll let guys float around between the shows, hence the whole soft split.
True. Well, then why? I'd say then why do it? But I don't know, man.
Because they can't be adults.
I don't understand the cadence.
And like they want to be, and like listen. I'm not saying you should sit down and fire 60 wrestlers, but like, I mean, you
actually, one, maybe, and two, I mean, I hate seeing people lose their jobs.
Well, right.
But the other thing is, I'm wondering how much of this is involving Warner Brothers Discovery.
No, it might be. Well, I mean, first of all, they
Like-
got to work on their streaming because
Yes.
nobody can fucking watch it anyway. If you don't put the shit
Here's-
on Max, not even gonna be. It's
I
just
was
gonna be called.
about to say, do you think they'll start trying to do stuff with Max?
They have to. They
I
have
mean,
to.
to go against the Peacock and the network? Yeah,
Well,
they do
yeah,
have to.
but like I've said this time and time again. If I miss Raw, or if I don't have cable, I can watch Raw the next day on Hulu. I can watch SmackDown the next day on Hulu.
And
I
it's
can wait.
condensed and
Well, Raw 90-minute Raw on Hulu is the way to go. I will say that. I will die on that hill.
yes.
But like if I don't, my cable package, the Fubo TV does not have Turner channel, so I have my ways, but legally I don't have a way to watch AEW. That has to change. I have HBO Max. If it was on there, I'd gladly watch it, but it's not. And you can't even go back, and it's like they're stuck in this 90s thing of this rating and this. It's like nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. You probably make more money putting a CM Punk video on YouTube than you do. You get more views that way
I
versus
think his debut is still like the most watched AEW
Yes.
on YouTube.
millions, I'm sure. But it's just I think you're losing people not having that part of it. Like, and at this point, I'm just following shit on Twitter and seeing what happens. But
Yeah.
I don't know. And let me. I just want to move into one more thing, just because let's talk about it before we keep getting into it. Good for them at all this. Good for them for doing a show at Wembley Stadium and at least attempting it. But what is it? Is it taking the spot of the All Out pay-per-view?
Is it a pay-per-view?
Or is it just some other show?
Because it's not Forbidden Door. That's in Canada, I think.
I
yeah.
think they'd be dumb to not make it a pay-per-view.
They should make it a pay-per-view, because then if it's just a random show, who cares?
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And
Like, oh, cool,
because
yeah.
it's normally the week before.
Oh,
Because
wait, didn't they already label it as All In?
it is All In, but it should replace All Out this year. Because you're gonna have All In just to have a pay-per-view in a week. Because normally All Out is that week later at Labor Day.
I know. Well, they always want to do the whole,
But
Chicago thing.
I feel like they don't know. Like nobody
don't.
has said specifically, like, okay, this, like, so you're gonna, like, I don't know, man. And this is it. I'm confused. What is this show?
I don't know. I also heard rumors that they were thinking of making Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay the main event.
I'm okay with that, but we
I love that match, but I don't think that
we just saw it in January.
that's the point.
I mean, I would be cool with that match.
Because
I
Will
just think-
Ospreay gave
But on your fucking
pretty
big boy,
fiery promo.
put on your fucking big boy pants and do CM Punk versus Kenny Omega.
That's where the money is, or CMFTR versus the Elite.
Right.
That's where the money
That's
is.
what's gonna. You know what I've heard?
Oh,
Perhaps CM Punk versus Goldberg.
I heard MJF.
Where the fuck did you hear that?
I heard MJF. Frankly.
Where the fuck did you hear that? Where are we fucking hearing this Goldberg shit?
Well, because Goldberg came
Goldberg's a
out.
free agent.
No, I heard
Yeah.
the whole thing about he's pissed that he was promised a retirement match and never got it. I heard that.
Plans change,
Goldberg,
pal.
dude, he ain't fucking good. Just shut the fuck up.
Is he
and
still signed?
retire.
Is he still
No,
signed?
he's done.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Just retire, dude.
I'm so
Go
tired.
go
of
do
it.
something with cars.
I'm so tired of seeing spear, jackhammer, kick out, spear. No, I'm done with this whole fucking 2-minute match that you performed. Like, I'm done. I'm done with. I'm
We're
done
done
with
with
these part
spamming
timers.
finishers.
Yeah, I'm done with these part timers coming in, and just except Rome. But
Thank you.
Roman's not
Yeah.
100%. He's like half.
He's like
part-timer.
he's like 75%.
Yeah.
He still shows up enough to remain. To Mike's point about the long reign, at least he does appear.
Yeah,
It's not like Brock. You see, if Roman's reign right now, I guess we're just jumping back to WWE for a
Yeah,
moment.
back
If
and
his
forth,
reign
fuck
right
it.
now,
backtrack a little bit, but we'll go
if
back.
his reign was like Brock Lesnar's reign, then this would have been bullshit, and I would have wanted him to lose the title a long time ago. The fact
Fair.
that they still keep him fresh and around without having him around that much, it's a pretty fucking good job. I mean, it's basically back like the Hulk Hogan days.
So this is a random transition to AEW.
Transition.
Yeah, transition, whatever. The
English, fuck you.
The 4 Pillars match that is supposedly the main event of the next pay-per-view.
Okay.
I was all for it, except this purple one just kind of like lost me.
The tournament?
That too, but it's like Guevara was like, "Oh man, I'm like Jungle Boy. We have a lot of similarities, but fuck you, Darby." And then Darby's like, "I'm like Sammy Guevara, but fuck you." Like it's just like, dude, what? Like, just what are you doing?
Are they like? Is it what Double or Nothing's their next one? Are they actually going to do that?
Well, so they okay.
And then they did a tournament. Darby got a first round bye, and then MJF and
they
Sammy
screwed over
aligned to screw Jungle Boy over. And then MJF is trying to get it just to be him versus Sammy. But like, dude,
interesting.
Like you had like
do the 4-way.
I was so into it, and I'll probably still watch it. But like, I'm kind of like, meh. I'm out on Darby. I'm out on Darby Allin now. I'm done.
How come?
Because like I know it's the booking and everything, but it's like the dude can't lose a match. He's got to win every single fucking match. Like
I don't know. Samoa Joe kind of kicked his ass a bit.
The casket match against Brody King, I think Brody should have won it.
Yeah,
but like, dude,
but I'm also just a huge Brody King fan.
I do like Brody King, but like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm a huge House of Black fan, obviously. Yeah,
but I'm also like, it might even be the whole TNT title hot potato thing. That might be why
they have fucked up the TNT title.
Would you say the AEW 24/7 title?
Yeah, it's the 24/7 championship. And change my mind. You can't.
They need to just unify that thing with the international title.
So I forgot who held it.
The fact that it was called the TNT title was stupid.
It was bad from the start.
Yeah. Same with the TBS title. And don't even get me started on the fucking TBS title right now. And I like Jade.
I hate Jade.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. Well, the viewer doesn't know.
This is true.
This
is true.
Like what did they do? They had who? They had Joe win it, then Darby won it, and then Joe won it back, and then Wardlow won it, and then Hobbs won it, and then
Wardlow just won it back,
and then Wardlow
the fact that you know this is actually impressive.
It's a shot in the dark. I don't know why. Like I was trying to.
You were correct.
Oh yes,
you were pretty much correct.
But it's like they were like, I forgot who it was. I think it was Shivani. And he was like, yeah, Wardlow's first reign lasted 4.5 months, and then his second reign lasted 3 days.
Yep.
Why put the title on him? Just have him beat Joe.
It's also it's funny. It's what they did in the Attitude Era with the world title, and looking back, it made no sense.
Yeah, but you just ruined the title.
Unified with the international title and be done with it.
And another thing, I'm out on Orange Cassidy. I'm done.
I think when he first showed up and he didn't wrestle a lot, and then he had that match with Pac, it was really cool. But now it's just like, all right, well, it's like his gimmick,
same fucking thing.
I can agree. It's like, all right, well, his gimmick is he doesn't care, but he does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of basically been his gimmick for 20-25 years now. He's been around.
I get it,
a long time.
It's just it's one of those like.
Oh no, I'm ready for him for somebody to take that title from him. So we can.
Well, it's like my argument.
I want it to be Buddy Matthews.
Yeah, I want it to be.
It's almost like the same argument as like the Young Bucks. When you see the Young Bucks like once every month or 6 weeks, it's awesome. When you see the Young Bucks every week, you kind of go, okay, well, all right, they're going to do their.
Can I just tell you something?
And like respectfully, it's like they're going to do their flips and this and that. I know I just had to finish my quick point and then I'll pass it along. It's about seeing it more often, which is probably why you're over some.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
But anyway,
can I just say
you may?
I'm over the Young Bucks.
All right, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree.
Again, I was over them a while ago.
I'm over the Elite as a team.
Yeah.
Because like I'm over the trios titles, if I can be honest. I just don't.
Wow, already. With
I
three
I don't.
title
I just.
holders?
I don't care. I don't. I feel
I
like
like House of Black with them.
I
no.
love House of Black.
I get
But I
it.
also like House of Black.
Yeah.
I get it. But coming up with just random trios teams, it feels like too much.
Yeah.
I would argue with some of this. I'd argue with some of the trio shit in WWE. You have more. You could have 6-man tag titles over
Honestly,
there.
Well,
It's
Some of the shit they're doing. I don't
it's
want it.
Bloodline. In
It's
WWE, you got
amazing
Bloodline.
how trios titles worked in Ring of Honor. It kind of worked in Lucha Underground.
Yes.
It works in New Japan somehow. Yeah, for some reason you're right. In AEW,
It's
it's been
not.
questionable at best. I mean, so far I like House of Black with the titles, but you're right. Up to this point, it's been.
You've had the Young Bucks and the Death Triangle.
And then House of Black.
House of
that
Black.
was
who else?
I
is
did
there?
not want that best of 7.
No,
Thank God.
no one did. I don't think anyone did. But like, what other trios teams are there that aren't just thrown together
when
that you could be like, okay,
when one of the brothers isn't injured, the Martin brothers and AR Fox.
okay.
I do like AR Fox though. I don't know why.
Every time I see AR Fox, I feel like he's going to call someone you dummy. Yeah, I went there.
Fair. It's fair.
Trying to think. Roosh.
Throw somebody with the Hardy Boys.
Oh yeah, that could work.
Roosh,
But I feel
Vance.
but I feel like it's like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man. Like but like what if you just had tag titles, but a faction could hold it? You know, like the fucking Freebirds. Yes.
Or more modernly
because like
New Day.
No offense to like the Guns or FTR or the Acclaimed or whatever or any of those the tag teams in the tag team division, but when you throw trios titles in, it sort of just like derails it. What if all these teams were in the actual tag team division? It's almost like they just do shit without thinking about it. It's like, does anyone want this?
I was not a fan of the Bucks until they came out to Many Men, and I was like, "All right, I'm in." All
right.
And then you had the whole 10 seconds of silence because there's some lyrics in that song that I can't say.
What?
But yeah, as soon as they came out, I was like, "Oh man, I kind of like these guys."
No, but I don't know, man. At this point, I think we're just ranting on the random shit. But so. I mean, I guess at this point, are we convinced CM Punk comes back and everything's fine?
Oh, Warner Brothers have been told that he's coming back.
Are we going to have another all out brawl at some point, or do you think like the bosses will actually like, hey, you don't do that?
Now,
what bosses?
As true,
CM Punk.
Yes. There's no bosses.
There's no bosses. As much as CM Punk is my favorite wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping there's some clause in some sort of renegotiation that says you are not going to do this shit again.
Mm.
And I agreed with some of his points, and even I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Are we in? Is there anything like, is CM Punk going to be this like magic bullet again that gets people into AEW again, or are we at a point
I think everyone's done with them.
Not really, no.
I don't know. Like, I don't know, man. It's like my interest from when me and Anthony went to the first Dynamite, and like the interest was like it was so high up. Like I was so pumped for it. And then like even if it took, even then 2 years later when Punk was 21.
Yeah.
Right. And then even that cool, we're moving. And then just, it honestly was, it was the all out shit. Since that, it just hasn't been the same. And we're creeping and we're getting pretty close to now a year where they've been on the downswing. So I don't know what's going to say. Like, what was the turning point with WWE? Was it honestly Vince gone and everyone was like, "Ooh, let me check out this Hunter product."
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
When Vince left, that was probably 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
The best 8 months of WWE since. Oh God. probably the I don't know, and I
2000.
hate. I was gonna say like the Daniel
Is
Bryan
there
story.
is there a name out there that if AEW hired and said this person's booking, you'd give it a shot?
I'm gonna give it a shot every week just because.
No, I agree. No, I agree. I agree with you. I just mean like,
Hmm.
is there like a set person out there somewhere that would have you being like, okay, if they let them cook, what can happen?
Well, first off, I'm surprised they haven't done that with Jeff Jarrett,
Yeah, true.
who, as much as I ripped
No,
for
he's
showing
actually
up, he is making it work.
because he's got like the most heat in the fucking company, and he's
I don't know
get
how,
that
but-
whole thing. I don't get it.
because he's good. People love to shit on the guy, but he's good. Like that's what it is. Like say what you want, but like the guy can he can go be a heel. He can go sing that fucking song and be a baby face. If whatever, man, you want to
wait to be with my baby tonight.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But people they're like, oh, it's Jeff Jarrett. It's like, okay, you're still
That was
booing
me
him,
at first.
but you're still booing him. You're not giving him like
I didn't think he'd make it work.
The silent treatment,
the Xbox heat, whatever you want to call it. Insert name that gets no reaction.
Yeah.
Oh,
Baron Corbin.
Bronson Reed.
Eva Marie.
Hey, what's wrong with Bronson Reed?
I feel like he gets no reaction when he comes out. That's more
Really?
what I'm
Because
getting
I
at.
kind of want to see
no.
him and Bobby
Madcap
Lashley beat the
Moss.
No, I'll give you that.
I cannot. I don't
Okay.
get it at all.
Before I address Madcap Moss,
What did you send the creator wrestler? That's literally like a sack. That's like 8 guys in the NFL do that to celebrate a sack.
Yeah. Before I get to address Madcap Moss, I kind of want to see more of Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of each other.
No, I agree.
Give me the meat. Give me the meat.
And he was good in the Elimination Chamber. I think that's what I watched recently. That like he came out to like not like just no reaction in Montreal. Yeah,
which is weird because he was pretty hot as Jonah.
I know.
Like, well, I think he was
Joe?
Jonah before he joined WWE too.
But also, he was just a big guy. Then you have like you had Montez Ford in that match, like fucking crawl like across the cage and then jump.
Yeah,
in.
I finally get the hype with Montez Ford because I know people have been
Yes.
saying he could be a single guy, and now I'm
Yes.
like,
Should
yep,
be.
I believe
Yes,
that
He
dude's
should
a
be.
stud.
Yep.
Dawkins does nothing.
No, Dawkins is
Dawkins is
fine.
very good.
Dawkins
Yeah.
is fine, but Montez Ford he has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he could be a fucking star, easy. But Madcap Moss has the look, can have the talent, cannot fucking put it together. Also, he's banging Emma. Good for him.
No shit. Didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they're
no,
dating.
They're dating and outside, and then I guess they made him an on-screen thing too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, that
Yeah.
again.
And
I had
Emma,
no clue.
giggity schlegel.
Just ask Matt Cardona how that is.
Anyway, whose idea was it to make Chelsea Green a Karen?
I don't know.
hate.
But
I don't hate
I
it.
like it.
I don't
Yeah.
hate it. I don't hate it. It was just not quite what I expected.
I don't know, man. I think not. Well, it's like I've said before. Not everybody can just show up and be world champ like they try and do in AEW.
No.
So, can we?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
Can we
Everybody-
just retire the women's tag team titles?
I mean,
Why?
Because
I have.
I get
faith-
it. Most of the teams are thrown together, but I don't know. Honestly, I think they should have just kept them on Io Sky and Dakota Kai, but they might be breaking that group up, which I think is stupid.
I don't know.
I think
trust.
it's stupid because I'm afraid that they're going to fire either Dakota Kai and or Io Sky. Or,
well, they already
or Bailey's going to walk
Dakota.
out.
They already fired Dakota once. Why not do it
Yeah, I
again?
know,
Yeah,
and that was
true.
stupid. Because Dakota's awesome.
I don't know. I'm definitely interested. I don't know. Let's give our wrap ups here. I mean, just give let's go to Anthony. Give us just, I don't know, general final thoughts. We talked about WWE, we talked about AEW. I don't know, where you at with everything? What are you hoping for in the next little bit?
You really put me on the spot here.
Yeah.
Yes, we do that.
Yeah.
Just wait till next week.
Oh yeah, if I could figure this out.
If you don't have a full SmackDown and Raw roster breakdown with storylines ready until WrestleMania 40, then
I have my mock drafts going.
Yeah. Oh, AJ Styles #1 pick always.
Where the fuck is AJ?
He's hurt.
I know he's injured, but I thought like the timeline would have been like he would have been back by now.
Yeah, but they probably don't have anything for him.
Because
like
the Good Brothers are just the Good Brothers are basically just there right now.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, the Good Brothers have it in their contract that if they're not going to be used on the show, they don't even show up.
Which is a fucking.
That's perfect. Why not?
That's smart.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go to Detroit. Drive 10 hours to Detroit. I'm not going to be used. Oh, cool.
Yep.
There.
I'm going to be in catering. This better be some fucking good catering.
Mm.
I mean,
anyway, your final thoughts.
Yeah, just in general, whatever you got.
Just WWE, it's going to be. It's bloodline. It's always going to be bloodline. What do they do? Because with the tag team titles, payments like it's getting very, and the tribal chief is getting disappointed with you. Said the Usos. If they lose, does Sikoa just go like what happens? Does Reigns unleash Sikoa? Does Sikoa do anything? Does Sikoa turn on Reigns?
I heard something about Sikoa being Reigns' opponent for SummerSlam.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Sikoa's entrance, love it. That's main event. I think he's a main eventer right now.
Well, because I think people like he's clearly got like the Umaga.
He's Umaga 2.0.
Right.
Yeah. And both figuratively and literally.
So it's like it's not this like crazy thought like Umaga was a main eventer. I know he didn't win the title, but
yeah, Cena, Triple H.
And those matches were pretty fucking good too.
Yeah. So like I know, they clearly did the Cody, you're not ready, blah blah blah. I get the storyline, but Sikoa, that's not crazy.
Yeah, but they already did that match though.
No, I know. No, I'm not saying Cody versus. I'm just saying in general, like they did the storyline stuff. Like you're not ready. It's like
I thought that whole bit was fantastic.
Yeah, me too. But no, they're like they're onto something. They're onto something. And like you're gonna have Money in the Bank guy kind of waiting at some point too, so I'm sure they'll do a good job working that in. I'm honestly like I haven't been this excited for a draft since they did it with Daniel Bryan as the one whatever.
Daniel
GM.
Bryan, Shane McMahon on one side, Stephanie McMahon, and Mick Foley on the other.
That was it. Yeah, I haven't been this excited since that. So and I hope, and if it's a true brand split, I hope they stick to it. And that it is like you're watching two different shows.
We're gonna get Dolph Ziggler getting the first world title shot on SmackDown.
Yes,
that's what happened last time.
Big Dolph Ziggler guy.
Yeah, NXT champ again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
for
happened.
2 weeks.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yo.
But I don't know. It's fair. I mean, Skylar, what do you think? I don't know. Talk to me about the AEW. Where are they going? I know we said none of us are excited, but where do you hope they go? What do you hope happens?
Despite all the fucking drama, I'm still excited for CM Punk return. So not sorry.
Fair.
You need to stop signing everyone. I think you might need to cut some of the fat.
Fair.
You're finally starting to fucking push Konsuke Takeshita. So keep doing that because that kid is he's a star.
Was it weird that he saved the Elite from the Blackpool Combat Club?
I feel like they were building towards it subtly.
Because I really thought it was going to be Hangman.
I don't know what's going on with Hangman right now. I thought, he's probably out selling, getting stabbed in the face with the screwdriver.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did.
Yeah, this angle has a screwdriver involved for whatever reason.
Why not?
I don't know. They decided to make the Combat Club just vicious. We're gonna murder you heels, which is to be fair, they were vicious. We're gonna murder you faces before.
Yeah, but I feel like that was just like a sudden turn. Like it was oh hey, 1 week you're a face, and then the next thing we're we're heels.
It was, but I'm kind of okay with it.
Like, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with it too. It's not like I.
Plus, plus for some reason it felt like they were kind of like Daniel Bryan was part of the group, but like kind of over here a little bit.
I was ready for his heel run, and then they flipped it. It was definitely annoying.
Yeah.
What with because of the MJF feud?
No, just he was gonna go be a heel for a little bit. He was doing his cocky shit in the ring, and I guess you could still do it as a face, but
he was a heel.
It was
he was a
Okay.
heel against Paige.
Yeah.
For the title, and then they turned into a babyface.
Right.
Not really.
Well, it was more because he came in as the superhero babyface type of character, and then they were slow. They were slowly turning him heel, and then oh no, we got to do this combat club thing. So you're going to do that.
Yeah, and I don't know who's seen Bryan Danielson in Ring of Honor back in the day, but he was a fucking good heel then.
He was a good heel in WWE.
He's more or less doing the Ring of Honor heel right now.
Well, I like that they're turning that group heel because it's like, what else can they do?
That's what I was saying. Like, I think it's kind of refreshing having them be heel. The problem is now you have the elite as faces, and it's like, great, cool.
LOL elite wins.
Yes.
So now, and then we got Cole versus Chris Jericho. Now is that gonna turn into the elite and Cole against Jericho Appreciation Society?
It always does. Do they have to do blood and guts soon?
That might be.
They you know what? So. No, they did it last year right after Forbidden Door because you had Claudio come in at Forbidden Door
to replace Daniel Bryanson
and then
what was it, Zack Sabre Jr.?
I think so. And then the following week was Blood and Guts. So so to answer your question, yes.
Which they had Eddie Kingston in Ring of Honor there.
Yeah, he quit AEW.
Yeah.
And then showed up in Ring of Honor, of course.
Yeah. Shout out Dutch and Vincent back in Ring of Honor, by the way. I'm wearing this shirt, by the way. I forgot I had this on today, the new logo shirt.
Yes.
And hey, Dutch, if you want to, chat a little bit.
Shout out the Righteous back in Ring of Honor.
I'm a big Dutch guy.
Dutch, if you want to have a conversation again, let us know how we contact you. Anyway, moving on.
I mean, I could contact him now, but I'm not going to do that at 12:16 at night.
No,
he's probably up.
Well, yes.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
yeah, it's true. We're all up.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah.
Michael?
And as far as WWE goes,
the draft.
Let Triple H cook.
Yes.
If you let Triple H cook,
stop letting Russ cook.
Oh yeah, Russ can't cook no more.
Let Triple H cook though.
Russ is dangerous.
Quick side note:
Tony Khan can't cook either. We've established that.
It's kind of funny. In the Simpsons group I'm a part of, they were talking about Homer's brother. I don't know if you remember that when Danny DeVito voiced his brother way back when.
Yes.
People were saying it's just like he just gave him a $2,000 chair. Fucking Hank Scorpio gave him the Denver Broncos. And I just responded, "Have you seen the Broncos lately? I'd rather have the chair."
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Let's see how they do with Sean Payton.
We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, I'm starting to think that Russ really is a systems quarterback.
Russ cooked that.
Yep.
So, anyway, back onto wrestling. AEW, cut some of the fat. Figure out who you're pushing. Do the 4-way with the pillars. Just fucking do it. None of this tournament bullshit. Nobody wants to see MJF 1-on-1 with any of these guys. They want to see the 4 of them go at it.
Also, pushing out females. I'm tired of seeing the same 4 they pushed.
I don't really care about the Runaways.
The Outcasts?
The Outcasts, Runaways, whatever they're fucking called.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
I mean,
honestly,
is Tony Storm hot? Yeah.
I mean, yes, and Paige was before she had a ton of work done.
Yeah. I'm the anti.
And I'm probably the only person who likes Ruby Riott. Or I'm sorry, Ruby Soho.
I like Ruby Soho.
Yeah, I just don't.
I also remember when she was like Lacey, like something Lovelace or I forgot her name, but I watched.
It's hard for me to care, man. Like, no offense, it's hard for me to care. I
Oh,
The show's not good. I can't get into it.
Oh, and the last thing, be fucking adults. Don't make another show just to fucking separate people.
Oh,
Agreed.
I have my get the TBS title off Jade.
I think that's what Ty is for.
Ty Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which
Yeah, hopefully.
I'm for that. I like Taya.
Well, build up a real feud. Don't actually just.
No, they've
all
been
right.
building. No, they've
No,
been building up that.
No,
feud.
but normally her title defenses are all right. Well, we
Yeah.
got to throw this on TV. Here's
Yeah.
4 minutes.
All right,
Go
yeah.
make
Here's
it
a
happen.
no-name wrestler that we're
Like
going to sign right after.
The only person that like looked like they had any chance was like Athena.
Ding ding ding.
And I think
That's why I thought they were going to have her drop it to Athena.
Yeah, but honestly, heel Athena in Ring of Honor as the women's champion there is, from what I've seen, has actually been pretty good.
I've heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Ty is there to take that title.
Mike,
and I'm all for it. I like Taya.
Yeah. No, man, I'm excited.
She's thick, and I like it.
Baby.
Yeah, baby.
I'm excited for the draft. I don't know. Like I said, AEW for me. I don't know, man. Like, and it's like it sucks because the pay-per-views are always good, but someone compared it to like the NXT. Like we all loved like those golden years, but like it got to a point where the weekly TV wasn't very good, but you knew the takeovers were going to be fire, so you watched them anyway. But
rarely were the takeovers anything less than like
exactly. But I feel like that's what's happening with the pay-per-views. It's like even Revolution that I was so down on when they were building to it.
Did you watch it?
Eventually I did, yeah. And I thought the Iron Man match was very, very good.
Oh, I didn't even
at the time.
I didn't watch that at all. Then
I mean, like the pay-per-view itself was very good, but it's like we're stuck in this. All right, cool. So you guys are going to put on 5 or 6 good shows a year, but I'm not just going to magically start watching the show every week based off of if 90% of it sucks.
Right.
And stop with the car crash TV. Like let segments breathe. That's my other biggest issue with them is as soon as one thing ends, we got to cut right to the next. It's like if you just cut like 2 or 3 segments from your show and you have enough fucking hours now that this shouldn't be an issue anymore, especially if you're going to add. But it's like they're cramming 2 hours and 15 minutes worth of TV show into 2 hours and they rush. And then like something important happens, but then it's literally forgotten about because they're already on to the next segment. Right. You got to slow down. And this is what WWE does. This is why the shit just feels more special. Look at like the WrestleMania main event takes an hour, but the match itself is 35-40 minutes because you take your time for the entrances, the introductions. If all that shit was rushed, it wouldn't feel as special. Nope. I'm not saying everything's got to be like that, but like there's not a lot of purpose where if you have like a big world title match as your main event, the match shouldn't end and then 3 seconds later the pay-per-view or show is off the air.
Yeah, I fell asleep during Roman's entrance and I woke up and he was still walking down the ramp.
Yeah, but that's right.
I was like,
fine.
what did I miss? Did WrestleMania restart and I have to watch it again?
Yeah,
no.
you've actually been sleeping for 4 hours.
What year is this?
No offense to them, but maybe they should try a 2-night pay-per-view out because they try and cram so much shit into one night that you're burned out by the main event. Another perfect fucking example. We've already touched on it. And I've mentioned it enough on this podcast. I don't need to keep saying it. But just slow your shit down. Give it a try.
Yes.
I don't know. That's all I got. I think next week I kind of do want to do a draft preview. If we change our mind between now and then, don't blame us because that's how we do it. Yes. But it's relevant because it's coming up, and I wouldn't be mad at doing that. We can kind of maybe pinpoint what some main shit they're gonna do, and maybe predict where some guys will go. So look for that next week. Give us a follow on the socials. Follow the podcast at 6Man Tag on Twitter, at 6Man Tag Podcast on Instagram. It's of course 6Man Tag Podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. If you go to those, give us a follow, give us a rating, give us a subscribe, hit the little bell, get those notifications. Ding.
Ding.
Yeah, and just one more thing. I swear to God, if you spell the word 6 when you look for this podcast, fuck you. It's the number 6.
For the people that are listening to the audio, I just did the kind of Undertaker throat slip.
Yeah, we're coming for you.
At least you knew when to stop that sentence.
And listen, because CJ's not here, I will quickly go over his plugs because they're doing some good shit over there. The Paperweight Broadcast, you can look for that.
Good shit.
You can look for that on Spotify in a real way, not a sarcastic Vince way. It's actually good
It's
shit.
very good shit.
So look for that on Spotify and YouTube. I think they have a social. Sorry, Craig, I'm not knowing your social. Maybe it's the Paperweight.
There's an
Look for Paperweight.
Instagram.
Yeah, just look for Paperweight Broadcast on Instagram. I'm sure it's up there.
Well,
Hootin' and Holler.
is-
No, Paperweight Project for music, Paperweight Broadcast for the podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, search for all that stuff on YouTube and Spotify and SoundCloud. SoundCloud's another one. When he's back, he'll get his plugs right. But either way, the Paperweight Broadcast on Spotify, Paperweight Project as well. Just search those two, you'll find it. That's all I got. Skylar, what are you playing on Twitch at Strange AFC?
I'm kind of trying to reassess the Twitch thing. Not that I'm not doing it. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how to do it right. That having been said, I am very much contemplating signing up to do Extra Life this year.
All right.
I don't know if anyone here knows what Extra Life is. Basically, it's a charity organization that donates to typically children's hospitals, and basically you raise money by streaming video games for 8 to 24 hours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I like it.
I'm very much thinking of at some point this year. Usually there's like a time towards late summer, early fall where like a lot of people do it all at once. And I'm thinking of trying to set it up to have a weekend to do it and like see if like I could get people to like stop in and join, just be part of a stream and bring me some food because I'm going to be stuck on my couch. I don't think you have to do it all at once. I think you can kind of segment it.
No. You have to do it all at once.
Yeah, but I'm going to be committed, and I'd have to come up with the list of games and how long I'm going to play them for. As far as Twitch right now goes, I'm just kind of reassessing how to do it in a way that it's like, because right now it's basically just been me hitting the share button on my PlayStation controller and just going.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, you gotta get the video out there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to figure out how to get the video going, and how I like a set schedule, because I notice all these pro Twitch people actually have a schedule.
Yeah,
and my son wants to do it, but I told him when you get reading down, we'll talk.
There you go.
Yeah, and we'll do it.
Yeah, get those incentives.
Yeah, exactly. So I am slowly doing Last of Us, slower than I anticipated. Playing Persona 4 Golden. I have fucking Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm only a half hour into it.
I'm not a Harry Potter guy, but I watched our friend Eric play for probably 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, the game looks pretty.
No, I haven't. I've played. I'm like an hour in, or I just haven't had the time to.
I've gotten sucked in by other things. Also, I'm probably going to play Final Fantasy 6 again because they just put that on PlayStation 4, 5.
Interesting.
That's one of my favorite games ever. And one of these days, I'm going to get a PS2 and a capture card, and I'm going to fulfill my lifelong dream of streaming The Bouncer.
I fucking love The Bouncer.
Yeah. That was such a great game.
Yes.
It was awful, but it was.
By the way, how much that game has shot up in value? Like, well, I mean, shot up in terms of, like, I think I paid less than $5 and it might be like 20 on eBay.
I'm okay. 20 is not bad. Hold on.
It's not. No, it's not some like $40. As far as I can remember, it's not some like ridiculous thing.
Yeah, but I do want to get a PS2 and a capture card, and I'm going to need an HDMI converter, and do that as like kind of like a retro segment for like once or twice a week.
Yeah, if I can figure out a capture card, I may try myself.
Average price is $15 to $25.
Yeah, there you go. I'm a complete inbox.
Yeah, no, these are all
I'm pretty picky, so
no, these are all complete. Most of these are complete in box.
fair.
Yeah, no, I'd probably grab that I would grab the original SSX. Not tricky, not tricky.
Oh, I missed that
The original.
game.
Although tricky was good, but I just got so annoyed by it after a while. But the original, I got that with my PS2 back in the day. I was just like, that's still one of my favorite games ever.
Oh man, I gotta no, you're gonna have me looking for that because I remember it.
That's fucking fantastic.
Ah man, good deal.
So, yeah, that's kind of where I am as far as that stuff goes. And I kind of been getting my music ambitions back together. So hopefully be on the lookout for that.
All right. Well, listen, this was good shit this week. We ranted about everything. I feel like we did as good a job as we can do on this, broken thoughts and ADHD jump around podcast format.
Sorry.
I do have some specific topics in the pipeline.
We'll get there
when we get there.
Yeah.
But right now
it was for the 2 weeks or whatever it was after Mania and then the merger news and then me on vacation and people work and this and that. We're like, and this and another one and another one, another one.
Another one.
And finally, when we're doing this, I'm kind of like, let's just say fuck it and bring it all up because that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Anyway, this was good. This was good shit. You heard all the socials. You heard all the plugs. You
didn't hear all the socials.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want people to follow you?
Sure. I don't remember my socials though.
Oh, I know. I know your Instagram.
Yeah. My Instagram is I am Girthquake99.
Thank you.
And my Twitter. Oh no, what's my Twitter? Oh, it's my first. Oh, what is not at Girthquake? I don't go on Twitter. Fuck Twitter.
Thank you.
Just the Instagram.
All right. Thank you for that. That's hysterical. And with that, hey, listen.
Let's sprinkle some crack on this episode.
Listen, give us the subscribe. It's like I said, 6-Man Tech Podcast everywhere. Like I said, next week, draft preview, hopefully. Wrestling draft. I know NFL draft is too, but we're not covering that here.
Well, what is the NFL draft?
I don't know. I only know the WWE draft.
Still real.
We're so going to end up talking about the NFL draft somehow.
Of course we will, because if we record on Thursday, it's going to be fucking happening as we record, so we can't help ourselves.
Oh yeah, it's going to be on the TV in the background, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Skylar's a giant.
Yeah.
You think? You know how pissed I am? I have to stay up till at least pick 25 now.
It's all right. You should just get pick 13.
I was enjoying having a top 10 pick because not only did we get a decent player, I could go to bed earlier.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway,
you can have the Giants and Jets last year.
And now the Jets don't even pick that 10. Early.
The Jets pick at 13.
Yeah.
But now I have to sit and wonder. First of all, are they getting Aaron Rodgers? Second of all, is pick 13 actually going to Aaron Rodgers? And third of all, is Aaron Rodgers going to be a Jet? I've been saying for months, it's not going to happen.
Is this the stupidest trade ever?
Yeah. Because the Packers think that they can get a first-round quarterback. They're not going to get a first-round pick for a 39-year-old quarterback who's going to play one season. And Rodgers says that he wants to be a Jet. So either you trade him or you're going to pay him $60 million to back up Jordan Love.
This should have been taken care of already.
Yeah. They apparently had a deal.
Do you even want Aaron Rodgers?
No, I never wanted Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think I've met a Jets fan that's that excited about the
CJ, Joey, Tom, Kyle.
They are?
Yeah.
I'd be in on it. Your quarterback's play was dog shit last year, and Aaron Rodgers gets you to the playoffs with that roster.
Trade up and get one of the rookies.
No.
I was going to say, I think somebody should take a shot on Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to go in the top 10.
Yeah.
You can find all this out and more about the wrestling draft. Where is the wrestling?
all wrestling.
You can find out more about this next week. The football talk will leave to the
The
experts
professionals.
on ESPN. I say that lightly. Hey, shout out Anthony. He actually did it. He actually got on a wrestling podcast after he said he was gonna, because you said, are you guys gonna review Mania? I want to do it.
I did. Yeah, I did say this. I did say it.
Exactly
made
like
it.
that. In that voice and inflection.
I did.
And shout out, he followed through and he came on.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So for
Thank you
Now
Anthony,
let's see
guys
if we
for
can make
having
it 2
me.
in a row.
perhaps,
Well,
yeah. Well, I'll do a
I
4-way
hope.
next week.
Said Ridley to the android bishop.
So,
Mhm.
so is it a 6-man tag and I'm the manager for that week, or
You
Well,
are
it's
you
what-
Jimmy?
it's whatever you
Who are
want.
you,
Could
Jimmy
be- oh.
Hart?
I was thinking like a
Paul
ballet
Heyman.
Trish Stratus manager,
Oh, from the TNA days
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
The
Testin
tit-
Albert. Yeah.
Well,
the tits and
that-
ass days.
Well, she's kind of acting. She's kind of doing that now, actually.
Yeah, she is.
And God bless her.
Works for me.
Mhm.
But shout
Oh,
out
yeah.
Anthony for coming on. We'll see you next time. For
Yep.
Skylar, for Anthony, I'm Mike. Until next week. Hey, peace, everybody.
Bye.
Recording stopped.
Am I a fucking moron? Why can't I find? Oh, it's
Nope,
right
still
there.
recording.
Thanks for making me look
No,
like an
that's not
idiot.
it.
Do I have to stop video? Just leave this in.
Oh, it was under they put this shit under a different setting in here for some reason. I don't know why. I had to click on like more, and I'm gonna click stop recording now. So this is now this
This
is
is the
the end
second
of the
goodbye.
podcast. This is the end of the
Yeah.
podcast for real. See ya, everybody.
See
Peace.
you with it.